Hey, welcome back to another episode of Is It Worth It, the show where I'll give you my thoughts over some gameplay on a game that I recently played. And today we're going to be talking about the Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores DLC. But before we get into that, a quick shout out to my Twitch, twitch.tv/Vahlkor. If you want to come see me stream any of the games that I'm playing currently, go ahead and come on over to twitch.tv/Vahlkor every single day. Alright, so the DLC is set after the events of the main game, and you have to complete the final mission before you get access to it. Opposite to Frozen Waste, which was pretty much in the middle, kind of like a side story. This one is a direct gap filler, I would say, between the Forbidden West and then the next coming game. The story is that Silence discovers the location of the last remaining Far-Seen survivor, which is located in the ruins of LA, and it is directly tied to the end of the Forbidden West. From there, Aloy hops into a Sunwind. She flies over to LA, and they're calling it now the Burning Shores. She is immediately shut down by some sort of like anti-air or anti-ground system as well that was set by the enemy. We quickly meet a new ally soon after that. Her name is Seika, and from there we spend pretty much most of the game on our quest together. I guess they decided that they can help each other out by taking down that turret. And from there, the story kind of like evolves, right? Now, obviously, I'm not wanting to spoil the story here. I'm mainly just giving you like my initial thoughts. But what I can say is that the way that the story was delivered through the duration of DLC was good. The overall performance from the main story quest and the side quests, as well as the the voice acting and all of that stuff, it was pretty good. And huge props to Guerrilla for keeping us hooked to the story. Now from here, this game looks insane. Like graphically, it is what you would expect from Horizon game. The environments in the Burning Shore are some of the best we've seen in the franchise so far. And it's worth pointing out that this game is only exclusively for PS5. I'm not sure if that's going to come down to PS4 later, which might be having some of the fans be bummed. The franchise did release the base game on PS4, and having the DLC only be PS5 exclusive can feel a little bad, especially if you don't have PS5 at the moment, which I can understand that it's a lot easier to get nowadays, but some people might not have it, and that's kind of something to keep in mind. In fact, I don't even know if you can upload your data from your PS4 to your PS5, which would mean that if you want to play this DLC, then you'll have to replay the game through its entirety. If you happen to know if you can do this, let me know in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious. During my playtime though, I did experience two glitches. The first one occurred when I was supposed to jump into the small raft with Seika. She was supposed to take me to our next objective, but nothing happened. I was in the raft wasn't moving, Seika wasn't anywhere to be found, and I didn't realize it was broken. I spent a couple minutes trying to figure out what's going on, but then I realized, oh wait, the quest is broken, it's not working. So I had to reload, which thankfully the PlayStation 5 or whatever system they have for the autosaves in the game did save right before I accepted the quest. So I was able to reload the data and jump back in, and then it was working all correctly with no problems. The second glitch kind of occurred when I was doing some traversing around. I noticed that Aloy simply just fell through the ground into the void and died. Now, initially, I thought it was pretty funny. It was pretty hilarious. Those kind of things don't really bother me too much as long as they're not too constant. Like, if it's a fluke, then that's okay. And I think we can simply think that it was a fluke during my session, because after that, no more glitches for the entirety of the game. Frame rate wise, I didn't perceive any massive frame drops. I thought the game was running pretty steady, and this is even with fighting multiple enemies at the same time and having like explosions and jumping and dodging and all that stuff. I didn't feel any frame drops at all, which I thought was pretty good. So for me, it was running okay on the PS5 on performance mode, and yeah, hopefully it will run like that for everybody else. Alright, so you can expect the same usual things from open world activities in this game. You have the vistas that you can find, you have some ruins you can explore. Every machine in the DLC is an Apex variant, which made him, more powerful than their regular counterparts. And there was one new big machine, which was called the Bile God. It's kind of like a frog-like creature, and it was pretty cool to fight. However, this is where I found also a little bit of disappointment. We only got one big machine to fight against. Even though it was fun to fight against it, I would have liked to see a few more. I mean, it is what it is. It's just a DLC. I didn't expect to see 10 new machines, but maybe a couple more, not just one big one and then like two small ones or something like that. I don't remember how many new ones we got, but it wasn't that many. And I feel like they could have done a little better in that department. But it was okay. I enjoy fighting them, and you can unlock the Apex variant of that particular machine when you do the cauldron in the Burning Shores, which is kind of like a side mission. You don't have to go there, I don't think, if I remember correctly. I did unlock that and then unlock the Apex variant, and it was fun to fight. But overall, I would have liked to seen a few more new big machines that were an actual threat. You also have the option of buying new legendary gear and armor from the vendors in town with the new resources in this region, which is called the Brimshine, which was found around, the map. You go exploring and you can find this yellow crystal around. However, the best way I found was by going to a vendor and making a job for a particular weapon or like an upgrade that required Brimshine. Then the game map will tell me where the closest Brimshine would be. And it was a matter of me figuring out if there was like a jumping puzzle or if it was like a door that I had to unlock or a ruin that I had to explore. And then I would get to the end and have that Brimshine to collect, which, was pretty cool, pretty easy. I was able to get those upgrades and new weapons without a lot of work, just a little bit of time. And it was good. I enjoyed being able to hunt those down and get the new weapons to upgrade them and make them better. However, I don't think if you have been playing this game and you had like all the legendary weapons from before, I don't think they were necessarily at least not in the at least not in the normal difficulty. But they are very powerful. I did get 2 or 3 of them maxed out. I did not bother getting any of the armor pieces. I mainly focused on the weapons, basically because I like the armor that I was using for my playstyle, and I didn't feel like I wanted to experiment with anything else. But that might be something that I'll be jumping back into, kind of like see what those armors do and get a feel for them. Now, another one of the real highlights of this DLC has got to be the environments. I mean, the Horizon franchise already has delivered some of the most eye candy locales with their ingenuity on designing them. And in the Burning Shores, you will find no discrepancies here. From decaying buildings to sandy coastlines and volcanic erupted lava cliffs, the LA region is really cool looking. I cannot express this enough. While you're flying around or even doing your new boat thingy and you're looking around the environment, you can see how amazing everything looks. It's very, very bright, nice colors. It's really cool, and overall an upgrade to everything that you can expect from the visual standpoints of the Horizon franchise. Now, one of the things that caught me off guard, and this is something that is probably gonna caught a couple people, it's coming back to this game after over a year of playing it. I didn't know the controls, and I spent quite a bit of time trying to familiarize myself with the controller and the combat and like how to react and like the kind of combos that I wanted to do. And I felt like I was constantly trying to remember essentially how to play, which, I mean, that's not the game's fault. That is my fault for obviously not preparing before coming in. However, seeing that this DLC is meant to be played after finishing the main game, I could see why they wouldn't add some tutorial prompts or anything like that. But it would have been nice to have some sort of refresher, maybe like in the prologue scene, maybe have like a little refresher of how the weapons work and stuff like that. Because you do have the little prompts whenever you have loading screens that tell you about the elements, stuff like that. But I didn't find it very informative in the middle of combat, which I think was kind of important, but not a huge gripe. Just overall kind of like a thing that caught me off guard that I could have probably done better if I would have played a couple hours before jumping into the DLC. The DLC will throw you into pretty tough encounters right away, especially being that all the machines are Apex. You have to remember how to fight against them, where to hit them, how to take components out, stuff like that, and be able to essentially survive against these machines, because it's not just gonna be one at a time. It's gonna throw you 3 and 4 machines at a time, and you have to kind of like make do with what you remember at that point. But hey, to answer the question, is Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores DLC worth it? Well, I spent a little over 10 hours playing the game, which includes some farming for parts to upgrade my new weapons, doing side quests, and overall exploring the map. The graphics are what you can expect from any Horizon franchise at this point, and the gameplay is quite honestly more of the same that you can see in Forbidden West. The upgrade system is there, the new tiers of skills are there. Everything is pretty much the same, just with a little bit more content to it. And the overall experience of the DLC was very solid. I would even say if you're a fan of the Horizon franchise, I would think this is a must-play DLC. It's a nice addition to the game. And again, it serves as a bridge from Forbidden West to the upcoming third sequel whenever that comes out. So in my eyes, yes, I would say the Horizon Forbidden West DLC, Burning Shores, is worth it. Anyways, that about wraps up this episode of Is It Worth It? I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below, and leave us a like if you liked the video. If you played this game, I want to know your thoughts specifically as a fan or someone that is coming in new. I want to know your experience playing it. Did you find it difficult? Did you find it very good to get into? Do you think it's too expensive? I want to know all those details down in the comment section down below. And remember, if you want to be part of the live stream, go ahead and check out the Twitch link over in the description, or go to twitch.tv/Vahlkor, where I'll be playing some of the new games that I'm interested in, and hopefully, you know, can have a chat and have some fun. So anyways, my name is Vahlkor, and I'll see you next time.